Hello, once again, this is Brother Teacher. It has come to my attention that there is a producer or production company that wants to remake the movie, the martial arts action film, Into the Dragon, that was created by the legendary and great martial arts master Bruce Lee. That's not a good idea. My first question would be why? A lot of films over the years have been remade, such as Halloween um, and various other horror movies, for example. Not sequels, but remakes with different actors and actresses. But Into the Dragon is a different animal altogether. Into the Dragon was not just simply a movie that someone got an idea about, or Bruce Lee, that is, got an idea about like a flash in the pan. Into the Dragon was about Bruce Lee's life. And what I mean by that is this. Bruce Lee said in an interview many, many years ago that martial arts, to me, is honestly expressing yourself. He did it on film. Every martial arts movie that Bruce Lee completed, Fist of Fury, Chinese Connection, Return of the Dragon, to include Into the Dragon, and he didn't complete Game of Death, we know that. But every movie that he did was him showing the world his accomplishments through martial arts. It wasn't simply about a plot that he threw together. It was about Jeet Kune Do. It was about Bruce Lee. I have arrived. World, I have arrived. That is what his movies were about. It was about him. And if you look at the plots in the majority of the movies, you will see it's always a good guy triumphing over some bad element, some bad force. It wasn't fake. It was a legitimate plot or legitimate story based on the oppression of someone else. And then there's a hero at the end. No wires. Him using purely his own skills. And that's one of the things that made him so powerful in the minds of martial arts enthusiasts, martial artists, just the world in general, is the fact that it was him. This is me on screen expressing myself. Let me see you what I have developed as my personal freedom. All of the years of synthesis of various martial arts systems and styles. My philosophies on martial arts and physical fitness par excellence. He wanted to show you, the world audience, that he had arrived. He wanted to show his father, Li Hoi Chun. He wanted to show him that he was more than just that character, or more than just that person that people said as a hot-tempered child coming up and teenager when he was sent to America with just $100. He made something of himself, and he wanted his father and his family to be proud of him. He said, "This is where I fit in, Dad. Now, see me now." But unfortunately, when he was producing Enter the Dragon, he died less than a week before it was released. And he never got to see it come to fruition. But we all know that it did. And it did what he meant it to do. It became world renowned. It became one of the greatest action motion pictures ever in the history of motion pictures, especially martial arts. So to have someone come and say, we want to remake Into the Dragon, who's going to play Bruce Lee? It would take you probably 100 years to find anyone that could come close to Bruce Lee's mentality, his physical prowess in martial arts, his style. Now, the guy that did the one Bruce Lee movie about a year or two ago, I can't think of the name of the movie right now. It escapes me, but he looked a lot like Bruce Lee. And I remember when the guy did Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, he did a pretty good job of that story. But the one subsequent to that, a few years later, he looked a lot like Bruce Lee, and there was something a bit different. I mean, he mimicked him pretty good, but why are we trying to do Bruce Lee all over again? There's only one, and he's passed away now. So the embodiment of Bruce Lee on screen could have only come to pass by Bruce Lee. No one can ever set the stage and say, well, we're going to do this in tribute to him. You couldn't do Enter the Dragon in tribute to Bruce Lee. It's been done. Why are you trying to redo something that's been done? And when you look at the purpose behind it, Bruce Lee said, this is my baby. I have full control over Enter the Dragon. I'm going to show an appeal to mixed audiences all over the world. I'm going to show them several ethnicities as far as martial arts masters going to this island of Han. There's going to be a white leading role character, John Saxon. There's going to be a black leading role character, Jim Kelly. And there's going to be an Asian star, Bruce Lee. So he appealed to everyone across the board. He was that smart about putting that movie together. He gave jobs to thousands of people. He helped promote many people's careers through his movies. He hired many friends, many people that he didn't even know to participate in his movie. He gave a lot of people starring roles. He gave a lot of people a start in their career or a boost in their career. Chuck Norris, Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, Jim Kelly, John Saxon, Anna Capri, who we call Bolo Young. His name is Yang Zi. All of these people and many more. He gave all of these people a boost to their career. And when he stepped on the screen, when we saw him on that celluloid at that time, before digital even came, we saw a master at work. We saw a man who devoted his life to what he loved. And he said, and like he said, expressing oneself, he showed it on screen. We saw Jeet Kune Do in the raw on screen. No other man, no other woman could ever replicate that. I can't do it. I don't know anyone who even comes close to doing it. Enter the Dragon was one of a kind, and it only belonged to one individual, one human being, one man, and that was Bruce Lee. Let his legacy rest with him, especially that movie, Enter the Dragon. Because when it was titled Enter the Dragon, he was born in the year of the dragon. It was talking about him. Enter the Dragon. He was the dragon. Lee Sao-lung, little dragon. He entered into the hearts and the minds and the memories of all of us. Don't let someone else pollute that dream that he had. Because it did, like I said, what he intended it to do. It showed us who Bruce Lee really was and what he was really working for. Self-perfection. I believe he achieved it. This is Brother Teacher. I'm out.